In the topic that it is separable, physical capital, when we talk, it is inseparable from its owner. It is separable from its owner. Like goods can be sold from one person to another person, and when the goods sold from one person to another person, ownership also transfer. But human capital, it is inseparable from its owner. The person whose capacity is there, that person capacity cannot be taken out from that person. It cannot be inseparated. This completely mobile between countries, whereas human capital is not perfectly mobile between the countries. Physical capital, it creates only private benefits, whereas human capital creates both private and social benefits. It can be built through imports, whereas human capital, it can be built through policy formulations. Physical capital depreciate over time, whereas human capital depreciate with aging, but depreciation can be reduced with continuous investment in health and education. Difference between human capital and human development, when we talk, student, the following are the difference between human capital and human development. Human capital consider education and health as a means or to increase the labor productivity, whereas human development is based on the idea that education and health are integral to human well-being. Since only when people have the ability to read and apply their knowledge to derive maximum benefit, they will be able to lead a long and healthy life. That is a human development. So human capital is just a part, student. It consider only the education and health as a means to increase labor productivity, whereas when we talk human development, it is a skill and ability which is provided through the way of training and the many developmental programs to the human being, so as to increase their capacity and maximize their efforts. Human capital is a narrow concept which treats human being as a means to achieve an end, which is higher productivity, failing which the investment is not considered to be productive. Whereas human development is a broader concept which consider human being as ends in themselves. Human welfare can be achieved through investment in education and health. It considers welfare a right of every individual irrespective of their contribution to labor productivity. Every individual has right to be literate and lead a healthy life. Sources of human capital formation. When we talk about sources of human capital formation, the main source of human capital formation are as follows. Very first, expenditure on education. Expenditure on education is an important source of human capital formation. Education is an important source of capital formation because of the following reasons. Why it is important? Very first, it generates technical skills and creates a manpower. The man will become innovative in developing the things which is suited for improving labor productivity. If the skilled people are working, there can increase the productivity. It does result in sustained economic development of the nation. It tends to bring down birth rate, and which in turn brings decline in population growth rate. It makes more resources available per person. It results in social benefits since it spreads to others who may not be skilled. This investment in education leads to higher return in future. Training students. When we talk about training, technical training adds to the capacity of the people to produce more. Firms given on-job training to enhance the productive skills of the workers so as to enable them to absorb new technologies and modern ideas. It can be given in two forms. The worker may be trained in the firm itself under the assistance of a senior and experienced workers. The workers may be sent off from the firm campus for the training, that is the off-job training duties. So this training also helps to impart good knowledge in the person and to make capital formation strongly. Expenditure on health, students. When we talk about expenditure on health, if we will do more and more investment related to more good health of the people, more good medicines for the people's health. Health is another important factor. Source of capital, human capital formation. Preventive medicines, vaccination, curative medicines, medical intervention during illness, social medicine spread on health literacy, and provision of clean drinking water and good sanitation are the various forms of health expenditure. Health expenditure directly increases the supply of healthy labor force and is thus a source of human capital formation. So this is also a thing why to make expenditure on health of the people, because if we are doing so, healthier people will give healthier results also. Migration. Expenditure on migration of the people on the human capital. People sometimes migrate from one place to another place in search of job. It includes migration of people from rural areas to urban areas, especially in India and other countries. Migration of technical personnel from India to other countries of the world. Migration in both these cases involve cost of transport and higher cost of living in the migrated places, and psychic cost of living in a strange socio-economic setup. The enhanced earnings in the new place outweigh the cost of migration. Expenditure on migration is also a source of capital formation. Expenditure on information students, which is very important, because as we learned in the beginning of the chapter, expenditure creates strong human capital formation. Education gives knowledge to the people seek information regarding salaries and other facilities available in different labor markets so that they can choose the right job. Similarly, people would like to know about educational institutions, their educational standards and cost of education. This information is necessary to make decision regarding investment in human capital as well as for the efficient utilization of the acquired human capital stock. Expenditure on acquiring all sorts of information regarding human capital and the other markets like education and health also become an important source of capital formation. Role of human capital formation in economic growth, students. As physical capital is essential for economic development, so is human capital also. For economic development of a country, the role of importance of human capital is the development of an economy is clear from the following points. Raises production. Knowledgeable and skilled people, workers can make better use of resources at their disposal. It will increase production in the economy. An educated and trained person can apply his knowledge and skill at farm, factory and office to increase production. In the same way, a healthy person can contribute more to the production than an unhealthy person. By daily coming and doing his work, the healthy person can complete the task. But an unhealthy person frequently taking leave but not giving full services can make delay in production. The availability of adequate health facility raises the physical capacity of the laborer and his stamina for work. It also reduces the loss of output which would have resulted from the illness of workers. Raises efficiency and productivity. The investment in human capital resources increases its efficiency and productivity and hence yields a higher income to the people. This enhanced productivity of human capital contributes substantially not only towards increasing labor productivity but also stimulates innovations and creates ability to observe new technologies. Education provides knowledge to understand changes in society and scientific advancement. It facilitates inventions and innovations. Similarly, the availability of educated labor force facilitates adoption of new technologies. So, and what is the role of human capital formation in economic growth? If we see, it raises production, it raises efficiency and productivity capacity of the nation, bring positive changes in outlook and attitudes. Definitely, a trained, educated human resource can have positive attitude towards the towards the life, towards the way of living a life. Knowledgeable, skilled and healthy people have modern outlook and attitudes. Attitudes of such people are no longer traditional and custom bound. They make rational choice in respect of places and jobs. This promotes mobility of labor. The process of all around modernization facilitates the emergence of modern society. All the changes leads to economic development. Improves quality of life. Quality of life is indicated by the income and the health. Income and health depends upon the level of education, health and skill formation acquired by the person. Illiterate, unhealthy, unskilled and untrained people are a burden on an economy. You yourself know. They cannot contribute much to the development of the society. On the other hand, literate, healthy, skilled and trained people are an asset for an economy. Thus, it is the quality of population that ultimately decide the economic growth of our country. Better quality of population means more economic growth. Raises life expectancy. Formation of human capital raises life expectancy or longevity of the people. This includes both a long life and a healthy life. These add to the quality of life. Raises social justice. By raising productive capacities of the labor force, human capital formation raises the rate of product participation. It in turn raises the degree of economic and social quality in the society. Higher rate of participation and higher degree of equality points toward growth with social justice. So these are the things, student, why human capital must be strongly formulated. Thus, human capital formation raises the process of economic growth and economic growth raises the process of human capital formation. That is, there is a cause and effect relationship between human capital formation and economic growth. It is shown below in the particular table. Rise in human capital, modern attitude and outlook, better quality of life, higher life expectancy. which will give more efficiency, more productivity, and then more economic growth. Rise in economic growth will give rise in more rise in per capita income, more rise in the investment in the education and health, more rise in the human capital formation. It means in return more and more strong human capital formation we get if we are doing more investment in training, education, health of the human capital formation. Human capital formation in India, the next topic. The 7 5-year plan puts in print the importance of human capital in economic growth. The 7 5-year plans reads human resource development has necessary to be assigned a key role in the any development strategy. Behind the development of the nation, human resource plays a very important role, particularly in a country with a large population. Trained and educated on sound lines, a large population can itself become an asset in accelerating economic growth and in ensuring social change in desired direction. Expenditure on education and health are carried out by all the three tiers of the government: union government, state government, and central government. And local government. Local government consists of municipal corporation, municipalities, and village panchayats. In India, the ministries of education at the center and state level, departments of education, and various organizations such as National Council of Education, Research and Training, University Grants Commission, and All India Council of Technical Education regulate the education sector. Similarly, the ministries of health at the union and state level, Department of Health, and various organizations like Indian Council for Medical Research regulate the health sector. Empirical evidence suggests that India would grow faster due to its strength in human capital formation. There are Deutsche Bank. Deutsche Bank, a German bank, in its report on global growth centers published on 1st July 2005, identified that India will emerge as one among four major growth centers in the world by the year 2020. It further states our empirical investigations support the view that human capital is the most important factor of production. Definitely, in today's economic growth, increase in human capital investment is is very important to achieve increasing gross domestic product. As when we are investing more in human capital, more production will be there, more productivity will give more income will give more investment. That way, GDP will increase. With reference to India, it states between 2005 to 2020, we expect a 40% rise in the average year of education in India. World Bank in its report said, India and the knowledge economy, leveraging strength and opportunity, state that India should make a transition to the knowledge economy, and if it uses its knowledge as much as Ireland does, it is just that Ireland uses its knowledge economy very effectively. Then the per capita income of India will increase from a little over $1,000 in 2002 to $3,000 in 2020. Three essential things that India has are manpower of skilled workers, well-functioning democracy, diversified science and technology infrastructure. Some examples of India transforming into a knowledge-based economy are use of e-governance and e-trade. Next class, we will be going to learn problems of human capital formation in India. Thank you for today's class. Have a nice day.